It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
Hi.
Please don't.
How are you doing?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Today we're going to talk about some controversy. Miss Rachel has been in the news for a few weeks. And people are concerned. People are concerned that she is speaking out of turn. She's not saying the right thing. She's not participating in society like a good, honest white woman. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the controversy. We're going to talk about, is her hate undeserved? And we are going to figure out if she is the ally that we need, that children need. Just, is she an ally in general? And so that is the conversation, just kind of starting with the history of the controversy. Miss Rachel has been in the news several times and in media several times with a lot of social media backlash, quote unquote, from saying things like she wants people to stand up for Palestinian children. She wants, she said Happy Pride Day once on social media, and that inflamed people. She believes that Black Lives Matter, that type of thing. And so all of those particular comments are things that people are inflamed about, and people continue to be enraged about. So much so that people have gone after her and said that she should be investigated by the federal government to see if she's being funded by Hamas. And so that is where we're kind of going to take it. So like, what do you think about this situation? Is this even backlash? And then we'll get into whether or not it is undeserved.
I don't think it's backlash. I think it's misplaced, like, straw man arguments for people who hate kids.
Explain.
So basically, someone saying that Palestinian children or Gazan children shouldn't be dying, and you finding a way to make that political is weird.
Not just those children, though.
Oh,
she has also stated that Israeli children should not die. Or Sudanese children should not die.
And I think her overall thesis statement is children shouldn't die. And if you somehow find a problem with that, why? Like, what does that say about what you feel about that specific child? Are you like predetermining that they are already a stain on society, a criminal that's gonna get you 10 years later? Like, that somehow this starving child is a threat to you?
Yeah. For me, the backlash seems like the All Lives Matter crowd is not championing what they truly believe in. And so I don't see it as backlash because, like, how do you make a statement in that with that frame that, you know, every life should matter, and then are selective with your outrage in who can say, or sorry, in what Ms. Rachel says and doesn't say, right? Specifically being angry at her saying that these children and these children and these children and these children don't deserve the consequences of adults making bad decisions.
Listen, I almost was
Just
real southern.
let that air cook.
God, I was about to be like, preach. But it started to like hit me in waves of like, good God, that was a statement, sir.
We make a lot of bad decisions in society. I personally believe that they should not impact children in a negative way, specifically when it comes to war and terror and all of those gun rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So is the hate undeserved? Right. Or sorry, why is the hate undeserved? Because I don't want to pose the question that way. I know the hate is undeserved. So why is it?
It's undeserved because she is such a great vehicle to help children learn, to help children kind of like work their emotions and do things in a way that is helping to grow the young mind. Like, we know how pivotal the ages of 1 to 5 are in terms of all the things that children are learning. And she is an ally to education, where education is continuously being like defunded and attacked. Books are being removed. There are so many things that are like impacting our kids on a daily. Mm-hmm. Like, having someone this consistent is necessary. But why do you think some of this is undeserved?
I'll answer that question in just a second. There is a point that you made that she's an educator. She has those credentials out in the public. Mm-hmm. For her to state. She says she has a master's in music education from NYU. Mm-hmm. She says on her YouTube channel, at least, that she was working on a second master's in early childhood education. I'm not sure if she's finished with that master's, so I'm not sure how outdated that information is. She could be done. And so moving forward to like why I think the hate is undeserved, mm-hmm. is I think it's simply because her activism does not overlap with her content, which has been said within an NPR podcast that we listen to. And so I'll put that link down in the description to all the things that we kind of read or reviewed before we did this episode. Everybody's paying attention to her activism and not her actual content. Toddlers, they made the point that toddlers aren't seeing her activism. Toddlers aren't paying attention to that. They're learning ABCs. They're learning how to potty train. They're learning what happens at the doctor's office as a child. They're not worried about our conflicts overseas. And if they were, I would be very concerned about that toddler and the age appropriateness of what they're viewing.
CPS, come get that child.
And I would be hyper curious. That child needs to be studied if they can understand it. So,
good point.
Just sitting at the table with it's Boss Baby.
That is okay. Nah, man, I can't. I because I have a budgeting toddler. Like, just coming home in the image of her reading whatever, like
Forbes.
New York Times, like Forbes, and saying, oh, this is quite troubling, Dad.
And she starts asking you questions about your stock investments, your portfolio. Like, how's that Fidelity account?
Like, what? But yeah, this is just one of those weird happenstances with America where it's like, I feel like we just want to be distracted, and we have to be distracted by like whatever we can possibly like grab a hold to, kind of thing. There are a lot of, to me, parents in America who are just using things like Miss Rachel as distractions for their kids, so they can like go smoke a cigarette, go to the bathroom, exist, because you do, as a parent, want time away from your kids. But I think the excess in which people are doing it is a big issue, and probably another reason why they have these issues with Miss Rachel that are basically just reflections of their own like ineptitude of wanting to actually raise their children.
Delegating the raising of their children to other people.
Yeah.
in not just like in moments, but in like large swaths.
Large swaths.
I think another reason why the hate is undeserved is because when we're thinking about, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'll come back to it if it comes up.
Okay.
But let's talk about like what makes her an ally. Specifically, I don't know. What do you think? What would make her an ally?
So there's a couple different points of communication, and in the Forbes interview, they were talking about a couple statements that she made, where she talked about using her platform because it is with her privilege and her finances in order in the way that they are. She has a privilege, or not even so much privilege. There's a not a right. Oh my gosh, why am I losing words? This is what happens when you get old. But there's a responsibility to using your platform in a powerful way, in a positive way, to make changes and speak up for those who don't have the power to speak for themselves, especially when it comes to issues of Black and brown people. And you know, the recent backlash on her threads because she just said Nolan Wells and his family deserve justice. We talked earlier about how she said, you know, if the roles were reversed and it were, you know, Nolan was white and all the people that he went with were Black, we would be getting justice immediately. She has spoken out for reparations in saying, you know, she used an article from Ta-Nehisi Coates where it's saying like 250 years of slavery, 90 years of Jim Crow, 60 years of separate but equal, 35 years of racist housing policy. Until we reckon with our compounding moral debts, America will never be whole. Mm-hmm. And she just does the things of not only research, but she's not attacking anyone specifically. She's just saying there has been an injustice in America and this injustice should be righted. And that to me is the perfect ally statement. Like you're not trying to make people feel bad. You're just trying to say, hey, we should fix this. And if we fix this, we as a community or as a nation are better off.
Yeah, I think it came back to me. Her allyship is connected to why is it controversial to say we want equal rights for people? Yep. Like all people, no matter what your walk of life is. Why is it controversial to say that we should repair the harm from slavery? Why is it controversial to say that Nolan Wells deserves justice for his disappearance? Like, and a true, like, thorough investigation in a state that has not thoroughly investigated the deaths of Black people historically.
Listen, who is currently, like, it's not just Nolan Wells. There's, like, multiple cases in Mississippi where you're like
lynchings, these types of things that have come out in the news within recent times.
And
yes.
like with very visible things that just don't make sense. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like asking for justice or asking there to be like deeper connections and like, you should care where your friends are. Like, if nothing else, it doesn't make sense. Like, even if you didn't do anything wrong, and even the kids kept saying we didn't do anything or say anything because people were going to think we did it anyway. What?
Right.
What do you mean?
I can hear that the fear is justified because they're children, but then the adults need to step in and say, let's do the right thing.
Right. Like, you know, just something. But, and even that, right? You as a parent have, to me, not done your job if you can't create the environment where your kids, if they know they did not do something, can just tell you that truth and then you're able to work from that truth. And I know how kids are in terms of like the lying or all of these different feelings. But if I know I didn't do something, especially within Black households, I'm going to make sure you know I did not do it.
That is one way to really piss me off, is to like, I know I didn't do this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take advantage.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get that angry over a lie. So the inconvenience of her activism is another reason why I think she's an ally. And it's inconvenient because she does lose connections to whiteness. In ways that whiteness is safe. And that could be like the financial benefits of connections to whiteness. That also could be like opportunities, not just financial opportunities that could come about, right? Partnerships, so forth and so on. But I think she is of the ilk that says, I don't want those partnerships if those partnerships are going to make me compromise my values. And so I think it was good. It's good to draw a historical through line to this. And somebody that her allyship reminds me of is the allyship of Mr. Rogers. So in 1969, Mr. Rogers was testifying before a Senate subcommittee in order to get more funding for PBS and public education to continue to do the things that he was doing positively in the world. And so her allyship reminds me of Mr. Rogers. We're going to listen to a bit of his testimony, and then we're going to come back and just kind of wrap up the episode. So let's take a listen.
I give an expression of care every day to each child to help him realize that he is unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. And I feel that if we in public television can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service for mental health. I think that it's much more dramatic that two men could be working out their feelings of anger, much more dramatic than showing something of gunfire. I'm constantly concerned about what our children are seeing. And for 15 years, I have tried in this country and Canada to present what I feel is a meaningful expression of care.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes. And I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the script.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful, not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
This has to do with that good feeling of control, which I feel that the children need to know is there. And it starts out, what do you do with the mad that you feel? And that first line came straight from a child. I work with children, doing puppets in very personal communication with small groups. What do you do with the mad that you feel? When you feel so mad you could bite. When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do you do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
Before we kind of close out, what do you think?
I just think that I'm glad that people like Mr. Rogers, Jim Henson, and Miss Rachel are here. Because without these three people in a lot of different ways, or especially the first two, you wouldn't even have ever thought about what kids are watching and what kids are doing. Like, and that there's mental things that like are necessary at that age for us to make huge strides to being who we're supposed to be in this world and being able to be unique and being able to be represented. So it is very good company that I think Miss Rachel is in echoing the sentiments of Mr. Rogers.
You know what this reminds me of? I've been thinking about it recently. We really take a lot of time to amplify the negative things in the world. Mm-hmm. our most of our attention goes towards what's wrong. That is part of our human biology, to be aware of the threat so we can protect ourselves from the threat.
Right.
At the same time, it's one of our greatest weaknesses because we don't count our blessings. We don't count how much good we have, how much good air we breathe, how much, the access we have to food and water and shelter in most cases, how much, we can go through most days without something negative or tragic happening to us directly, the majority of us. I'm not saying that those bad things don't happen, but those bad things are an outlier, and those bad things are usually elevated and escalated and taken out of context of the whole pie, so much so that it's like if 80% of your days are good and 20% of your days are bad, and we focus on the 20%, we are not elevating the 80% of days that are like normal and healthy and great. We are only focused on that 20%, which is, I believe, the most unhealthy part of society, because we are exaggerating what we are biologically wired towards biasing. And so I believe that these people are necessary to remind us that we are okay for the most part.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this does not include the systems that still need to be changed.
100%.
But
right, don't ignore the systems, but also know that in most cases, when you get into the car, you're going to be okay.
Yeah,
right?
And you'll be fine. Just keep moving forward and keep striving and keep being an ally if you are. And if you don't like kids, just say that, because that's what you're saying. But anyway, that's more than enough.
There was a comedian's quote that came into my head. F them kids.
This is Mike Epps from Soul Man.
Yeah. Soul Man?
Yeah.
Soul Man?
Or Soul Man? Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, Samuel Jackson, Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Y'all know the movie. But let us know down in the comments, what do you think? Is Miss Rachel a good ally? Do you think there was actual backlash? What do you think? Let me know. I'm curious. But anyway, we'll let you know what's going on with us if you hit that bell notification so you can be notified for every time that we go live. We'll see you guys in the next piece, a 1 and a 2. And peace. Peace.